Hurt rarely repeats itself because someone wants to harm, it repeats because the nervous system reaches for what it knows. What once injured you became a reference point for closeness, conflict, and power. Without awareness, pain teaches pain how to move forward. This is not about blame, it is about recognition. And so here are 7 ways you hurt people the way you were hurt. 1. Emotional withholding. Care was once removed when you needed it most. Distance became the language of control in your environment. You learned to pull away to avoid vulnerability. 2. Reactive defensiveness. You were met with criticism instead of curiosity. Conflict was framed as threat rather than dialogue. You learned to attack first so you would not be wounded again. 3. Conditional affection. Love was offered based on performance or compliance. Affection became a reward rather than a constant. You learned to give care selectively to maintain power. 4. Silent punishment. Silence was used to express disapproval or dominance. Unspoken tension replaced honest communication. You learned to withdraw presence instead of naming pain. 5. Boundary violations. Your limits were ignored or minimized. Consent was not modeled as sacred or necessary. You learned to cross lines because no one protected yours. 6. Emotional invalidation. Your feelings were dismissed or corrected. Expression was treated as inconvenience or exaggeration. You learned to minimize others the way you were minimized. 7. Control through care. Help was used to create obligation. Support came with unspoken strings attached. You learned to offer care in ways that bind rather than free. And so we realize, harm is often transmitted, not chosen. What was done to you taught your body how to respond. Awareness is the moment the pattern loses its authority. Repair begins when repetition is interrupted. So we ask ourselves, which behaviors feel familiar rather than intentional? Where am I repeating what once hurt me? What would change if I chose repair instead of reflex? What does care look like when it does not control? You did not invent these patterns. You survived them, then carried them forward unconsciously. You are allowed to stop the cycle without condemning yourself. And you are the quiet knowing that healing ends what harm once taught.